Section 5, give it the limit.
In the world we live in today, our community is engrossed by the progressing mankind through new technology, new developments, and new machinery. Take myself for an example. Someone who is so greatly dependent on their phone. Such a simple device designed to hook me in. I check my phone every minute just to see if there are any notifications. It somehow provides a comforting feeling. My parents are right outside my room, and yet, emotionless, meaningless words are still sent through the phone. Thinking about it saddens me. My surroundings no longer matter to me. They are unimportant. As long as I have my phone, I am fine being isolated alone in my bedroom. The Romanticism movement completely contrasts this. The idea of social media, huge city skyscrapers, and industrial characters. It was made to oppose the disciplined scientific inquiry of the Enlightenment era. It started from the late 18th and early 19th centuries, focusing on nature and the interior world of feeling. It emphasized on many aspects such as rights and dignity of an individual, and the natural world and power within it. The imaginative, the artistic, and philosophical movement redefined the fundamental ways in which people thought about themselves and the world around them. The Romantic era gave the oppressed a hope for better times. But does that still hold true in our society today? Can humans and the natural world be brought together once again? Our modern world can be understood between scientific rationality and our desire for the heat of life lived with passion, experiences of excitement, or the ineffable. As an individual who lives in this modern world, it is rare to experience such a thing, the thrill of nature, and appreciate what surrounds us. The planet we are on is a place of infinite potential. William Wordsworth's poem, Daffodils, speaks on how he walks through a crowd of daffodils and is awestruck, causing him to think deeply and admire. Wordsworth is in the presence of a host of golden daffodils whose delicate dancing in the wind has a long-lasting effect on the speaker's mind. The personification of these flowers depicts the way Wordsworth sees them. They have power within their beauty, just as how humans have power. Being able to appreciate the environment in this way opens up a whole new way to view nature. Nowadays, most of us are in major cities, surrounded by massive buildings and growing technology. It makes it harder for us to see things in a romantic perspective like Wordsworth's. Therefore, Romanticism is now more appealing to the society. People want to escape this busy landscape, to find their inner connection with nature and themselves. Through our imagination, we allow ourselves to find out who we truly are by exploring nature and discovering links we have within our findings. However, these basic principles of Romanticism have been forgotten about and undervalued in the 21st century. In this modern era, society is so invested into the idea of advancing technology and industrialization. We no longer live in the 18th or the 19th century. People want new revolutions. We don't want to live in the shadows of one that lived 120 years ago. Wordsworth reflects, "They flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of my solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills. An imagination so strong, using the inward eye of the mind, brings back pleasant memories to create joy and fulfillment and passing it on to others around us." Memories. They are which we hold close to our hearts. Many of us have probably experienced these flashes of recollections and can understand. I remember reading, when people are on the verge of death, they witness these flashes from their early childhood. It sparked a big realization for me, just how significant memories are in our lives. Reminiscing on these thoughts brings back strong senses of emotions and feeling. Romanticism desires this. The assistance of the imagination and memory helped poets strengthen their inner emotions within their writing, to display their creativity and individuality through their text. In the poet's last stanza, he writes in past tense. He is looking back at the experience. Though he isn't just recalling, he is breathing new life into this imagination, this memory, to give it life again and conjure the blissful joy. Nevertheless, this is effort. The time is not free enough for everyone to sit back daily and reflect on the simple flowers which we walk past on the way to school or work. A bustling world is the modern era. There are other things to pursue than to think so intensely about nature. The modern world could be considered a product of the Romantic movement from the 1800s. Thus, the community may be influenced by such thinking. It emphasizes on feelings rather than intellect, an idealistic and individual worldview that can be seen today. But it has been decades since, and we have evolved so much. The planet is progressing massively. There are other priorities in place. So, Romanticism may still exist here and there. However, it is undeniably not the main issue in the modern era.